Well, good evening and welcome to McKellar Park for live Bar TV Sports Football. It's the Women's National Premier League here. It's Belconnen United against Gungahlin United. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator for this one this evening. Joining me in the commentary box, on the chilly commentary box, is Michael Aldred, head coach of the Tuggeranong United women's team. And Michael, welcome to this game, and you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Russ, it's always nice to see two of the strong powerhouse teams in the WPL having a go.
Yeah, kick off at 5:15, so we're a few minutes away from that. The team's out on the field just having a bit of a warm-up. Gives us plenty of time to have a bit of a chat about this one and have a look at the league table. But first of all, what I want to ask you is a little bit about Tuggeranong yourself, Michael. And the girls have a game tomorrow against Monero Panthers, and then next week you've got Belconnen United. So at the moment, bottom of the table, you haven't had any points, but it's been some encouraging performances.
I think it's sometimes too easy to look at results. We haven't had a fantastic start to the season results, but there's not been many games we've not been in it. We're a very young side, and at certain times lack of experience lets us down, but anyone who plays us know that we're going to give them a game.
We did your game live on Bar TV Sports, the Canberra Olympic Tuggeranong game there, and your oldest player, I think, was midfielder at 22 years of age. How is that with you working with those kind of players? Is it difficult, or is it easier to coach younger players?
It's a hard one. It's actually in some ways a lot easier because they're open to learn. They want to try new things, and they're a bit like a sponge. They want to learn. Unfortunately, it's that level of consistency we can get from them, and we are playing against some very experienced players who challenge us every week.
Saying that, there's plenty of young talent in this competition as well. Looking at the league table, we come into this one today. Belconnen United, top of the table, 6 from 6, 18 points, plus 16 goal difference. They're playing Gungahlin, who are 4th at the moment, on 7 points after 5 matches. A bit of a logjam round there after Belconnen and Canberra FC. Then you've got Academy on 9, Gungahlin on 7, Woden on 7, Olympic on 6 as well. So what do you think Gungahlin can do today to stop this Belconnen juggernaut from notching up another 3 points?
That's a very... in a way, I can give you a simple answer that they've got to put pressure and form a challenge, but it's obviously not easy to do. Belconnen have shown over the years that it's not easy to do. It sometimes comes to belief when you're playing against Belconnen. A lot of teams, and especially the young ones, think they're beating before they get on the pitch.
Yeah, they don't lose many games, do they? I know they lost to Tuggeranong last year. We were saying off air, you guys last year beat them here. Was it here, I think it was?
It was at Canberra.
Canberra, sorry, yeah, and 2 wins against Canberra FC as well. So it's encouraging when you see the sides like Gungahlin and like Tuggeranong being able to mix it with the sides like Belconnen and maybe getting some points. Yeah,
I think the challenge of playing the top teams is you have to make them work for the ball, and you have to get in front first. If you can get a lead and make them think about their own game, then that provides a different challenge to them. Unfortunately, they're very strong. They get on top of teams, and once they're on top of teams, it's they start putting the pressure on. It's very hard to come back from that.
Yeah, they've only conceded 3 goals this season, 2 against Woden Western in a 3-2 victory in round 3 and 1 against Canberra Olympic in a game we also showed live on Bar TV Sports back in round 4. Since then, a couple of clean sheets, 3-0 against Tuggeranong and a 1-0 victory last week against the Canberra United Academy, who pushed them all the way. Yeah,
and I think sides can push them. Unfortunately, as you say about their defence, it's very strong, and I know I've spoke to Ant over the last couple of years. He prides himself on that defence, and while they're an entertaining side and they win the trophies, it's built on a very strong defence.
Gungahlin United, for their part, come into the game with a little bit of form. They've beaten Canberra Olympic 4-2 in round 5. Hat-trick from Freya Jacobson in that one, and 1 for Erica Pennyfield. And a 1-1 draw last time out against Woden Western. They were unlucky not to get the points in that too.
No, I think looking at their results, they've had a very solid start to the season. They've conceded a couple of late goals, which would have put them on a lot more points than what they've got. And they're a young side, similar to ours, but they seem to be gelling very well.
3 other games taking place in the Women's National Premier League tomorrow. Monero Panthers against Tuggeranong United. That's Michael's team down there at the Riverside Stadium. Is it Gugong? Oh, it's been moved to Gugong, OK. That's Duncan Oval, just up the road from my house, actually. Canberra Olympic play Canberra FC, and Woden Western FC play the Canberra United Academy. So some good fixtures to look forward to there. This one will kick off shortly. 2 results from this afternoon in the Men's National Premier League. Canberra Olympic 4, Riverina Rhinos 2. 2 goals in the last 3 minutes there. Robbie Katnach and Jeremy Habtemariam giving Olympic 3 points against the Rhinos, who come all the way from Riverina and giving a good account of themselves again.
I think it's a fantastic effort. I know when I've spoken to some of the Tuggeranong boys teams, travelling down there is a drive. But travelling up every second week is a challenge, and it's the start of the season, but it's interesting how they go towards the end of the season when that drive becomes a long drive.
Speaking of Tuggeranong United, a blip for them today, a second loss in a row. They were beaten by Canberra Olympic last week. They've been beaten today at the AIS. Gungahlin United 4, Tuggeranong United 2. A couple of goals from Anthony Timotheu there, one from Michael Ronaldo and one from Thomas Kirklich, giving Gungahlin a victory. Tuggeranong, Michael, lost 2 in a row now. Mitch won't be panicking just yet, but it's they've still got 4 wins on the board, so it's a reasonable start for them still.
Oh, it's a fantastic start, and I know from talking to Mitch on the beginning of the season, he has a long-term aim, and the start of the season was a fantastic start for them, and with any challenges when you lose 2 games back-to-back, it's how they come back from that, and he will be disappointed today. I think he expected to pick up some points, but I think Mitch has got his eye on that long-term, and the future's looking good for the team.
We'll speak to Mitch about that, no doubt, tomorrow. Mitch Stevens will join me in commentary from Deakin Stadium. Canberra FC versus Tigers FC in the Men's National Premier League tomorrow. And if anything's the past results to go by on that one, Michael, we can expect a heck of a lot of goals.
Yeah, I think so. It should be an entertaining game. I think both sides will be looking for the win.
It's a match I watched down in Nijong Oval a couple of years ago when Tigers were up 5-1 at half-time and lost 8-6, I think it was, in the end.
Yeah, I think that's the sort of games that cause coaches like me to lose that little bit of hair that we've got, or turn it grey at least.
It's always entertaining when there's lots of goals. So we're expecting lots of goals here this afternoon. The big news team-wise for Gungahlin United, no Erica Pennyfield. She started the season really, really well. 4 goals for her. That's a big miss for them.
I think it's a huge miss for them. When you're playing against a top-quality side like Belconnen, you need your best players available, and she's a quality player who will give them an outlet when Belconnen are putting the pressure on.
And that's a problem, I guess, isn't it, Michael, with when you're coaching players that are amateur in scope, and we're obviously it's Premier League football, but you know life gets in the way of some of this. Sometimes they have other obligations, and is that tricky for a coach to sometimes juggle that kind of thing? Yeah,
it's very tricky. We all like when we start in a job, we say if you don't attend training, you don't play, but then reality and life kicks into that. And you want people to enjoy things outside of football because then they play football with a smile. But it can be a challenge, and this is where teams like Belconnen have shown their strength in depth over the years. Teams can challenge them, like Tuggeranong got a one-off win against them last year, but Belconnen consistently had their best players available.
We can see the teams walking out on the field now. Belconnen United in the light blue shirts, Gungahlin in the black shirts. Your referee today is Angela Gray, assisted by Aisha Strutt and Carla Martin. It's a big afternoon for those referees as well.
Yeah, it's always pressure. Bar TV's becoming a very standard thing over the last year and a half, and it's an opportunity to show that, especially when you see females refereeing, it's a chance to get more females in the sport and get them enjoying the game.
They always ask us before they go on to say nice things about them, and we always say, well, don't make any mistakes and we won't have a go then. But the referees do a good job down here. We've had some interesting calls over the last few weeks, and they've all done a good job.
It's very hard. It's like we tell players, no one goes out there to deliberately make a mistake. It's everyone calls it as they see it at that moment in time.
Let's look at the 2 lineups then. Belconnen United first in goal, Nat Lacey. There's 2 changes from the side but beat Canberra United 1-0. Gemma Murphy and Bronte Pike back in the team. Bronte Pike starts at left back, Lauren Keir at right back, Karen Clark and Jess Rashart in the middle of defence. Michaela Day will hold just in front of those. Alex Martins and Nicole Jaloka given a bit of freedom to roam. Then up front, Maddie Whittle, Gemma Murphy and Ellie Raymond. Strong looking side.
Oh, it's a very strong lineup. When you've got players like Jazz Maguire on the bench, then it shows you've got a very strong 11, and that's the advantage of Belconnen. They can rotate that, and more importantly, this competition for places. When you get on, you've got to play well to get in the next week.
So it's normally a 4-1-2-3, you'd say, or maybe a 4-3-3, depending on what happens when they get possession, but we'll expect to see Mickey Day rampaging forward and looking to add to her goal tally.
Yeah. No, I think both sides are going to play a very similar system today, I think.
Gungahlin United, they start with Kaylee Tonini in goal. They're back for Ash Garrity, Ruby Gambale, Maddie Percival and Alex Patterson. 2 holding midfielders in front of them, Nat McCann and Rachel Corbett. Charlotte Lynch just at the point of that midfield triangle. 3 up front, Bridget Sander, 16-year-old former Canberra United Academy player, Freya Jacobson and Talia Stanley.
Yeah, a good young side. I think, as we say, that the challenge for Gungahlin at the moment is can they be proactive at the start? It's all too easily to Belconnen come flying out of the box to play and sit deep.
So perfect for kick-off, Michael. Is that the key for Gungahlin to try and keep the score, keep Belconnen off the scoreboard as early as possible?
Yeah, when you're playing against top sides, and while you want to put your imprint on them, that's not always possible. So you've got to do your best to frustrate them and not give them an easy step into the game.
Well, Anthony Jagorinik is the head coach of Belconnen United. Diego Iglesias, the head coach of Gungahlin United. Both very well-respected coaches in the Canberra area.
I do put the caveat on what I've just said there, that I give that same message to my team last week and we were 2-0 down after 6 minutes. So
I believe they said that. Anne Mayer was saying something similar with the Olympic game as well, saying don't let them score early in 17 seconds, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't the best start for us.
Anyway, that's in the past now. We're here at McKellar Park watching this one and hoping to see plenty of goals. It's Belconnen in possession early with Michaela Day, as we expected, pushing forward. Looked for a square ball there, but it's been picked up at the back and it's hoisted clear up towards the halfway line.
You can see straight away Gungahlin are dropping into a shape and will probably allow a little bit of space for Belconnen's back forward to come out and play.
As we expect, Belconnen may have a lot of the ball today. Expecting them to dominate possession, but it'll all depend on what Gungahlin can do when they get the ball. It's first touch of the match for Clark to Rashart. She finds Keir on this near side. Day. Look, goes through Michaela Day.
She's a quality player. She's very much a playmaker.
It's Martins.
And I think this is where teams struggle at this moment in time. It's that balance. Do you allow Belconnen to play around with the ball here, or do you push higher and create gaps?
Well, Clark's looking for that ball down the line, which usually causes quite a lot of grief. Chip towards the edge of the penalty area, towards where Martins was, and Gungahlin, first real chance for them to have some possession. Here's Jacobson. McCann played it forward. They've turned it over, and here's Jaloka. Belconnen trying to force the issue with a couple of those through balls. Day instead spreads it wide. Here comes back to Raymond. Day again. Shadowed in midfield by Lynch. That's a good little ball forward, and it's half a chance here, breaking in the penalty area. The first chance of the afternoon almost broke for Gemma Murphy.
And they do look comfortable on the ball, don't they, Belconnen? When they're passing that ball, they look a quality side.
Well, Maddie Percival and Ruby Gambale may be busy this afternoon, trying to keep hold of Murphy. She started the season well for Belconnen. Gemma Murphy scoring some goals. Yeah,
she did very well. To be honest, we tried to get her at Tuggeron earlier this year, but she had obviously an opportunity at Belconnen, has took it and has flourished in the first team this year.
Keir's throw. Held up by Jaloka. Chance for Keir to load this one into the penalty area. It's asking a lot, though. And it was Pike who was up there in a more advanced position. And the first corner of the evening.
Yeah, it's important Gungahlin stay strong these first 5-10 minutes, otherwise it's very hard to sort of push the juggernaut back.
Well, Murphy's jogged across to take it. 6 blue shirts in the penalty area, so they're not afraid to load it up.
When we played them actually last week, their quality of crossing was fantastic. I expect this to go very near the goalkeeper.
Murphy swings it right into that area. Clark was there as well. Jacobson won the header, though. Nodded it down. Was looking for one of her players to take it on the break, but it's only going to come straight back again. Pike has it. Blue Devils dominating possession in the first 5 minutes. Here's Rashart. Stanley forces her backwards. Keir pays the ball forward, looking for Jaloka. Martins. Not afraid to go back to start again, Michael?
No, they're very good at changing the ball and recycling and looking for the new options. They've got a very different level of patience to what most teams have got in this competition. And again, they're very comfortable on the ball.
Keir goes with the throw again, looking for the run of Whittle. Comes back to Martins, nice step. Here's Raymond. She'll take on Garrity. Tries to get to the byline. That's good defending by Ash Garrity. Wins another corner for her team there, Belconnen.
Yeah, withstanding early pressure at this moment in time. I think Diego will be hoping if they can just last the first 5-10 minutes and suddenly get a foot on the ball themselves, then it becomes more of a contest.
It's pretty important for those up front for Gungahlin when they do get it now to keep hold of it. Otherwise, it may be a long afternoon for them.
And a cold one.
Yeah, the wind's whipping up here. Blowing in behind us, may assist Murphy with this corner, swings it to Nip. It's a good ball. It's bounced off of Jalocka, I think it was running in, and it's gone into the goal. And Belconnen lead, and it was a scrappy one.
It is, but I think if we look back to the quality of that corner, I think when we played them 2 weeks ago, it's exactly the same. Their corners are putting pressure on that goalkeeper all the time, and ball bobbles, and they've got the players in the right spot to put it in.
We were just saying they needed to hold out for these first 5 minutes. They haven't been able to do so. Be interesting to see how they recover from this. Good start, though, for the Blue Devils. They're 1-0 up.
I think Diego will be hoping now they've got the kick-off. Let's just keep it for 4 or 5 minutes, just pass it around, get some confidence back in the team.
Percival brings it forward to Jacobson. They've turned over possession again, though. And Keir will have it on this near side. To Day. Back to Keir again.
It's one of the strengths of Belconnen that people don't really notice sometimes. While they're very comfortable in possession, their ability to get the ball back quickly is very strong.
Here's Patterson. There's Briggs. Sander, rather, on that far side. Jacobson can't get hold of that. She needs to be able to get more control on those balls as they come forward. Try and give her side a bit of relief.
We're looking at 6 minutes played, and I don't think Gungahlin's played a ball in there in the opposition half yet.
The chase is on for Whittle. Across goes Gambale, defends it well. Out for a throw-in. Scrappy goal, Michael, but they all count. Not sure where it went in, off of Jalocka, maybe a chest or a thigh or something.
Diego will be disappointed. We know where they put in their crosses, and you need someone there to take control of that situation.
It was also so slow motion, almost like we didn't think it had gone in for a moment. Ball to the near post, Raymond challenged, and it's going to come out straight away to a Blue Devil shirt once more. Pike, left-footed, swings it into the area, and that's easy for Tonini.
Pike's another player from the Belconnen system. Last year came in as a young player, and has gone on from strength to strength the way she plays.
Well, Sander tried to control that. She's a youngster, Bridget Sander. Mentioned her in the pre-match. Just 16 years old, the baby of this team. Plenty of those Canberra United academy players plying their trade at clubs around the Premier League now, Michael.
Yeah, it's there's obviously some good systems in place, and I almost stopped them, but Gungahlin almost got in the opposition half.
There's been few and far between so far. They're chasing shadows at the moment. Here's Keir today. All the time in the world. Finds Keir again. Now Raymond. Murphy's made the run. Tracking back, though, is Percival. Murphy's put her under pressure. It's going to break for Raymond. Swings that to the near post. Almost broke for Jalocka coming in, the goal scorer.
I think
She's going to get there, though.
Gungahlin need to have a bit of a look here at the moment. They're already playing very deep, and this could become a one-way possession if they're not careful.
Day finds Keir. Challenge from Stanley, but Keir just rides it. Now shoots from distance. And Tonini was behind it all the way. But another warning sign.
Oh, very much so. I think Gungahlin this is where they need the leaders on the pitch to say, let's get hold of this ball and see how we can put some pressure back in the opposition half.
Yeah, they need someone to get their foot on the ball. They're just giving it away again. They've done so once more, and Clark finds Keir, and here's Michaela Day, who's had more touches on her own, I think, than the combined Gungahlin team, but maybe here's a chance. Jacobson looking for a ball forward. The runner in there was Corbett. Couldn't quite get on the end of it, though. Now they've committed players forwards. That's hit Murphy on the hand. That's unfortunate, but the free kick will go Gungahlin's way. Bit of respite, perhaps.
Yeah, this might give them a chance to look at their own shape and try and put a little bit of pressure on the back four.
Well, Percival will take it. Gives it away then. Pike sends it towards Whittle.
Yeah, a little bit of a waste there. Not even near a Gungahlin player.
It didn't pick out anyone, really, did she, in his day? And Martin sends it forward. It's back with Clark. Now to Keir. Sends that down the line. Jalocka's the runner. The flag stays down. She's got Whittle in the middle, all the way. Jalocka fires it across the face of goal, and Maddie Whittle couldn't get on the end of it. But once again, too easy for Belconnen to get in.
It's a fantastic run. I was watching from the halfway line. She went all the way down. She'll be a little bit disappointed with the cross, that she couldn't make it a little more better for her teammates, but a fantastic run.
I think, if anything, Dancy Jaguar will be disappointed that he didn't have more bodies trying to get on the end of that one. I'm sure it won't be the last chance they get, though. Here's Jalocka again, who's taunting Gungahlin in these early stages. Stanley's tracking back. Here's Kia. Another chance to cross. It's a low one this time. Martins looks to turn. Jalocka again. Garrity's shadowing her this time. No rush from them, though, and that's a misplaced pass.
Yeah.
First error that they've made all game so far. 10 minutes gone, live on Bar TV Sports. You're watching women's NPL football. Belconnen United lead Gungahlin 1-0 here at McKellar. An early goal from Nicole Jalocka that caught everybody by surprise, not least us.
No, well, I think the challenge for Gungahlin now is, can they string 3 or 4 passes together? I think as a team, this is where you set simple things to start off with. Let's get hold of the ball. Let's put some simple passes together. Let's move higher up the pitch.
Garrity was looking to find Jacobson, but it was thrown too high. And Rashart can find Day. Sweeps that one down the line, looking for the runner of Whittle. But Sander got back, and they've turned it over again, though. Here's Murphy, blue shirts flooding forward, but that's unfortunate. Now Gambali's lost out. Thumping challenge from Percival.
I think Gungahlin will be disappointed at the moment that they're not really making Belconnen work for it. They're giving them the ball.
They need someone to lift this team. Maybe a thumping challenge or two might do the trick. But at the moment, Belconnen having it all their own way. Stanley is doing a good job defensively so far. She's been asked to trap back an awful lot. Here's Jalocka. Just steps aside Garrity. And Percival gets a foot in. Raymond chips it to the near post. The volley comes in and squeezed past the goalkeeper. And Gemma Murphy has made it 2-0 after only 12 minutes. And Belconnen United are well on the way to 3 points.
They are. Well executed finish. It was a quality finish, but I think Gungahlin again will be disappointed how a cross managed to get across.
Needed finishing though, didn't it, Michael? And she took it really well.
She took it well. Most people can panic in that situation and we start looking for the ball down the parkway, but no, she controlled it and took that very well.
Kaylee Tonini will be a little bit disappointed she didn't get enough on it. I think the quickness of the shot surprised her more than anything. There wasn't an awful lot of pace on it, but it's 2-0 already, and it's looking like a difficult task facing Gungahlin United to get out of this one.
And again, that's a symptom of the way Gungahlin start at this moment in time. It's a quick long ball forward to nobody.
And here come Belconnen again, looking to break for Murphy on the edge of the area. Here's Whittle in the box. Defending her is Garrity, and she does well to clear.
Yeah, she shows some good strength there.
But it's ominous, this at the moment, for Diego Iglesias and Gungahlin United.
I think he'll be looking for his leaders in the team to stand up on this situation.
This is where they'll miss someone like Pennyfield as well.
Yes.
To do just that. Here's Whittle. She started on the left, she's moved to the right. Bronte Pike's done exactly the same. She's come to this side as well.
Nice composure from Bronte there.
She pick a pass forward. She finds Day, who's advanced. Now Kier thought about the shot and then tried to chip it through to Murphy. And there's Raymond winning it back straight away. They're not letting Gungahlin settle at all. We haven't got possession stats, but I think it'd be about 90-10 if we did.
I think even then we're looking at high.
Day in the centre circle.
That's well read from the fullback. That's well read.
Yeah, there was Patterson stepping in. Here's Corbett trying to bring it forward. Trying to keep the ball just for a couple of passes. That's a bit better from Gungahlin, but then they've turned it over again. Jalocka looking for Whittle. Garrity's there and defends it well.
She's done well at times to the left back. Shows some good strength.
Here's Jacobson, maybe a chance for her to put her foot on it, bring some midfield into play. It's McCann. Ball via Corbett is sent forward from Gambali. The chase is on for Stanley. Touch there for Nat Lacey, probably her first of the evening.
Yeah, now the chance for Gungahlin to push a little bit higher and push a bit more pressure on that back four.
Here's Clark. Back to Rashard. How difficult is it, Michael? You were saying that they need to press and try and get the ball back, but these players can move you about and then all of a sudden go bang like this with Day. and you're chasing it again.
Oh, it's very difficult. I say it very easily with a microphone in my hand. Down there is coaching. I'm one of many teams who have tried unsuccessfully.
They've got incredible ability to just keep it calm, try to pull you out of position and then hit you on the break. Here's Corbett. Percival. And Gungahlin. That's better. They've got a bit of ball now. Here's Patterson. Looking for an outlet. The loose ball is picked up by Murphy. She's happy to go back to Day. We'll start again down this near side, right in front of the grandstand with Pike. Here's Whittle. Just looking to drag Gungahlin out of shape, like we've said before.
They're playing some nice football. They're showing a real... It's very easy when you got the ball, but they're showing some good patience.
They've got their 2 goals already. They don't really need to get any more at the moment, but I'm sure the scoring's not finished. It's Raymond.
And this is the challenge from Gungahlin as well. How do we push on? Otherwise, there's 4 or 5 players just passing the ball around.
Day.
In the spot.
It's a lovely ball looking for Pike. 2 Gungahlin players coming to Bronte Pike, and she manages to win a throw off of Aisling Garrity's knee. Take the throw herself. There's always options, and that's a foul throw there. The flag's gone up, and that'll come back. That's one way to get the ball back.
I think Bronte will be disappointed with that.
Not often you get picked up for that kind of thing. We mentioned before they had a tough game last week against the Canberra United Academy, and they would have been forced to keep the ball a lot in that game, Michael, and perhaps it's helping them here.
Yes.
With Belconnen. That's good tenacity from Stanley. Well, that's better. They want a bit more of that kind of challenges from Talia Stanley. She's been around for a while, and
it's one of those, you need 11 of those putting pressure on Belconnen. They're very comfortable on the ball. You've got to put some pressure on them.
There is Stanley, wins her team a throw.
Again, we put this in the context that Belconnen are the standout team of this competition.
Oh, absolutely. 6 from 6, as we said at the top of the broadcast, and at the moment, looking like 7 from 7. Even though there's a long way to go, and if they can pull one back, you never know. That was Charlotte Lynch putting the challenge in.
It's quite a dangerous scoreline, 2-0 sometimes. You're very comfortable. One goal makes a difference.
Always say that when you say that you'd rather be 2-0 up than 2-0 down, though, wouldn't you, as a coach?
I'd probably not argue with you on that one.
Day looks for the run of Jaloka. Percival, who, for a team that's 2-0 down early on, has defended very well. And Tonini clears that out for the throw. She looks solid, doesn't she, Maddie Percival in the central defence? Murphy tries the trick, and there is Percival again. Nice composure to bring it away. Off she goes on a run.
Needs a bit of support.
No one really with her, so she just goes back to Garrity, who looks to send that forward, and Freya Jacobson won't really thank her for that one.
Now's an opportunity.
On the turnover, here's Sander. Back to Gungahlin, and her ball is looking for the runner Patterson, who got in behind briefly, but just a misdirected pass.
I think it was a great example then of what Belconnen's strengths are that we don't notice. The ball got passed back, and their front 3 chased and harried the Gungahlin into the mistake.
But a small passage of pay there for Gungahlin, little better signs for them. When Maddie Percival strode out from defence. It's all a bit genteel at the moment, isn't it, Marco? It's all a bit quiet, and
it is.
Belconnen have the 2-0 lead.
Seems to be toying with them at this moment in time, showing a bit of patience, and Gungahlin have got to make that bit of time on the ball.
Here's Clark. Plenty of time to pick a pass. Pike looks to take on Stanley. And Garrity gets stuck in on Whittle.
Now an opportunity to move forward if they can.
Again, she goes long, and Jacobson can't get on the end of it. Jaloka thumps that one forward, and Percival will need to be on her toes.
Should be hoping for a shout from the goalkeeper.
She's gone back to Tonini, who takes her time and looks to clip it forward, but she's giving it away
pass
to Martins. Here's Murphy. This is danger. Ellie Raymond swings it into the penalty area, and it's cleared comfortably in the end, but it's going to come straight back. Clark found Day, and that's a good challenge in the middle of the park by Corbett. And she can free Patterson.
She did well then.
Sander had started the run, but then checked. And Patterson, unfortunately, put it where she thought Sander was going to be.
It's asking a lot of her.
Early goals here. We've played 20 minutes. The goals after 5 minutes from Jaloka and 12 minutes from Murphy give Belconnen what is at the moment a very comfortable 2-0 advantage.
And I think Gungahlin will just be looking, as we said, to try and get into this game, get a foothold and start putting some pressure back on Belconnen.
The ball into the channel looking for the runner, and Whittle's got away from them, but Percival's there. Back to Tonini. She'll have to be careful and does well. Day's flicked header is picked up in midfield.
Nicely played by Corbett.
Yeah, Rachel Corbett brought it down well, brings Garrity into play. She looks for Stanley, looks to Turnpike and does well. This is better, and looks to play Jacobson in, and couldn't quite get on the end of that one, but that was better from Gungahlin.
No, it's better. You say they put 2 or 3 passes together. It's amazing what 2 or 3 passes can do.
And Garrity was busy in the first 3 or 4 minutes chasing Jaloka, has actually defended quite well since then.
She's done well. She's shown us some good strength.
It's Corbett, goes back to Percival.
Now's the time to keep it and move.
And Raymond's picked it off though, and here come Belconnen. She's got a runner ahead of her. It's Maddie Whittle running into the area. Gambale's back to check and defend, and does really well to push it away and chase her own clearance as Murphy collects the loose ball, and Ruby Gambale wins that as well. Good defending.
Yeah, it was good defending, but I think that's been a symptom in the first half. A little bit of space and a loose pass giving Belconnen the initiative.
I think they'll be disappointed they didn't do much more with that, as Raymond looked like getting Whittle in.
Knowing Ant, I think Ant will mention that at half-time about that opportunity.
They're usually quite ruthless in those situations. Here's Jaloka. Day.
Nice
turn from Martins. Lovely ball in field as well to Whittle. Day's on the edge of the box, shooting chance perhaps. Mickey Day falls for Raymond, who chips it towards the far post. Pushed on the bar by Tonini, loose ball in the area. Whittle's there. Somehow they clear it and Gungahlin get rid.
That was a little bit of a difference from the first goal. The ball was bobbling around, and this time Gungahlin had the defenders there to help clear it.
And a great save from Kaylee Tonini to push that chip from Raymond onto the crossbar.
She did well.
And recovered to block the rebound from Whittle, who looks certain to make it 3-0.
But they're the little differences that Gungahlin can take a bit of inspiration from that defending and scrambling.
Pike. Day again. It's just constant one-way traffic, though, at the moment, as Clark chips that one into the area, and Tonini needs to come and fetch, and does.
Now it's a case of slowing this down and actually looking for the pass.
Well, you know Freya Jacobson as a player, Michael, and she can hold the ball up, but she's very isolated at the moment, isn't she?
She is, and it's challenging. When you get the ball, there's always 2 or 3 around her.
And she doesn't want to be chasing those balls into a channel. She's not that kind of player, is she?
No, she's a strong player, and when you give her the ball, generally she can hold it up very well.
Here's Day. And this is the problem that we said, if they're too far off her, they leave gaps in the middle, which Belconnen have the players to exploit. There is Jacobson winning the ball back, though. Doing just what we said, trying to find the run of... But I think that was Patterson who made that run forward.
That passage of play just showed the difference between the two sides at this moment in time, that Gungahlin worked hard, got the ball back, 2 passes, then lose it.
She really had no one to pass to, did she, really? Couldn't go back because there's 3 blue shirts there, and was forced into an ambitious-looking ball forward. Day.
But this is typical Belconnen. They pass and then move it till they see an opportunity.
Clark. Now Rashard. Up over halfway. Looks to slide in Raymond, but Patterson's read that and can go back to Tonini. It's pushed forward by Raymond. It's going to break for Mickey Day. Will she shoot from range? She will. It dips and swerves, and Tonini does well to hold on to that one.
It's a little bit of a moving ball.
Horrible when they bounce just in front of you there as a goalkeeper. That's a good challenge in the middle of the park by Lynch. And again, as Michael's alluded to throughout the call, they've given it away again. Here's Raymond. She's dropped into the left-back position, which has allowed Lauren Keir to push forward, and here she is.
Looking at the last 10 minutes, so they are in the game now, Gungahlin. They are playing.
Sorry, Michael, yeah.
They are in the game now, but they've settled down the last 5 or 10 minutes and they're starting to get in the game a little bit.
Interestingly, since Anthony Jaggerinic switched the wingers, they were getting a lot of joy, and for some reason they've switched them round and haven't had quite so much success down this side since Jaloka moved across into a more central role.
I wonder why he did that, to be honest. He must have some cunning plan up his sleeve.
That's what he's done now with Keir out wide as well, with Raymond back to left back. That's interesting as well. Maybe he's just thinking, well, we're so dominant, I'll try a few different things. Here's Clark. She looks for the run of Pike, and that's a good ball too.
Good run from Pike, good run.
Can Pike deliver? She swings that ball in, great ball into the penalty area. Murphy won the header, but couldn't direct it goalwards. And
that's the difference. Fantastic run from Bronte, and took the ball well and crossed it, and again, another chance for Belconnen.
She took her volley very well, but not quite so adept in the air, Gemma Murphy. Not so tall as a centre forward. I'm sure she'll suggest that's not her forte. The Alan Shearer style.
Go there.
Well, Michelle Heyman would have liked to cross like that on this park, wouldn't she?
Oh, I think that might have found it nestled in the bottom corner.
Keller Park, of course, home to Canberra United in the Westfield W League. Here's Clark. Looking for a raking ball forward again, and that's well read by Gungahlin, who sends it straight back. Could have probably done with a call from a teammate to maybe bring it down.
But you see the movement from Belconnen now. You see them, they're moving, they're looking for the ball. And
with only really what's one up front now with Jacobson, they've got as much time as they want, really, and that could be a foul. No. Good pressure from Corbett on Day, and she's still pressing again. And they have noticeably moved up trying to press, but that's left spaces which Day's looking to exploit. Patterson's come across. Bounced off Gungahlin. McCann trying to get involved. It's been pretty quiet in the first 25 minutes or so.
You wouldn't say Belconnen aren't dominating anymore, but Gungahlin are now starting to step up a little bit and put some pressure on them.
They're getting closer to the ball carrier, aren't they? And when the passes are coming in, it's making it a lot more of a challenge for Belconnen to pick their way through. And that's good for us as a contest. Raymond. Day. Skips around Corbett. Gungahlin clears, only as far as Jaloka. It's a loose touch, but she's going to get there, and that's
nice
a
tackle. Good
tackle in the middle of the park. I think that's McCann who was involved. And they're going to get a goal kick out of it, perhaps. Everyone in slow motion. Noticeable, Michael, that McCann, Corbett and Lynch have come more into it now in the midfield for Gungahlin. They're putting more pressure on their opposite numbers.
They pushed a little bit higher. It's very natural when you play Belconnen to naturally sit deep in those first 10-15 minutes thinking, oh, we'll soak it up and we'll be tight and compact as we can. But it's probably the other way around. You need to push higher.
Well, Keir's come back across to this near side. Percival at the back for Gungahlin. Confident to take a few players on and gets a bit lucky, but ricocheted off of Jaloka, and it's a Blue Devils ball again. Day. She was hoping someone would go in behind. Murphy's offered that run, but Garrity has seen her. And as I said, she's defended quite well since the opening 5 minutes.
She has. Shows some good strength down there.
It's quite a high line they're playing sometimes, though, Michael Gungahlin. You think if Day or Clark could put a ball in with the right measured weight, they could get some joy.
Well, it's a hard one because you play a high line, and we play high line ourselves, but if you don't put pressure on the back forward, they just have as much time as they want to pump it over the top. And they've got pace on the wings.
That bounced off Keir, and Martins helps it to Raymond, who's switched back. Keir again. Maybe this is a game plan, the switching the winger.
This is what they do very well. Recycle that ball to create an opportunity.
Clark brings it forward. Jaloka stepping in field, still going. Bounces away. Shot comes in from distance from Martins and always off target, but words of encouragement from Jaggerinic.
Yeah, I've seen Belconnen a few times, obviously. This is probably the most I've seen him try and shoot from distance. They are peppering the goal a little bit.
Well, they had a lot of joy from crossing early on, and since then, though, both fullbacks have defended well. Patterson and Garrity have shut down those options.
Yeah. Again, without actually getting on the ball too much, Gungahlin do look a lot more compact than how they started.
We've got close to the half-hour mark, and no further addition to the score. 2 goals in the first 12 minutes from Jalocka and Murphy. Live here on Bar TV Sports. Women's NPL football from Canberra on a chilly Canberra evening. Lovely day today, blue skies, and the sun was out. But when that sun went down, the temperatures plummeted, doesn't it, Michael? We're quite cold up here now.
I think you've been very brave by saying chilly. I think it's freezing.
Here's a good run into the penalty area. It's going to break. The shot comes in, and it's swung just wide of goal. And I think was that Whittle who hit that one?
Yeah, and that's the challenge now. We've sort of had 3 shots in the last 10-15 minutes from the edge of penalty area. Gungahlin have got to sort of close those opportunities down if they can, because one will go in.
Just alluding to the weather, Michael, you're from Sheffield. This will be balmy for you, wouldn't it? From up north?
I've been here 17 years now. I'm starting to get used to this Australian weather.
It's always nice to have the sun on your back when you're playing football or calling the game, but sometimes you have to brave the cold. Players are out there enjoying themselves. Keir sends that towards Murphy. Day. And to Keir again. Day to Rashart. Pike's already gone on her bike outside her, and she comes to Jalocka. Or was it Martins, rather?
It's interesting they've switched back again.
They have. Here's Jalocka, who's come deep.
And this is the challenge. How high can Gungahlin press to put pressure on this back four?
Well, their furthest player is 10 metres inside their own half there. There's no pressure whatsoever on Clark and Rashard, who can do whatever they like.
And all will happen is the ball will go inside the fullback within the next few seconds.
Here's Jalocka looking to put it in that area. Keir, lovely ball forward. Here's Raymond bursting into the area, but Stanley defends well. Takes it off her toe and completes the clearance. But all she can do is give the ball back to Belconnen.
They do seem to have dropped again a little bit deeper, Gungahlin, inviting that pressure on.
Keir will cross into the penalty area. Murphy attacks the ball. Here's a chance. Whittle came in. Couldn't make connection, though, and that's 2 or 3 times she's threatened to get on the end of those crosses.
And I think Diego would be saying at half-time, either the goalkeeper come and fetch that or defender, you've got to go to that ball first.
Do something to stop that run, because she's only a stud's width away from getting on the end of one of those. That should be a free kick. Percival came out, clattered into the challenge in midfield.
Again, from previous experience, Belconnen have got some excellent strikers of the ball. It may be a little bit too far out this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is peppering the goal.
Yeah, Mickey Day might fancy this one. It's, 35 metres or so. Clips it in towards the far post instead. Header back across goal is good. It was Rashard who won it and bounced straight to Tonini. She'll be disappointed someone wasn't on the end of that.
Yes.
Now here come Gungahlin with Percival. Opportunity to break. Corbett. Now Sander. First time we've seen her with ball of feet. Yeah. And that's a super tackle from Mickey Day.
And that just shows 2 sides to a player. She's excellent on the ball, but does all the hard work as well.
Keir. Rashard, whose header that was moments ago. Day slides it forward. Here goes Jalocka. Percival's across with her, but Jalocka's got there. And defensively, Gungahlin needs to be strong.
I think she took the wrong option then. There's a wide option that I think she could have took.
It could have gone to Raymond, who'd made that overlap for her. Isn't that Lacey coming to fetch the ball? She's had little to do.
I think she's looking just to keep warm, to be honest. This is the challenge. They'll pass and move it, but you can see the ball going inside the fullbacks within the next couple of minutes.
Here's Clark. Rashard. Looking to draw them out. Martins tried to steer that round the corner towards Keir, and Stanley's there. Bounces off her, and she has to concede the throw-in right down near the corner flag.
Good movement from Belconnen off the ball there.
Murphy wins the header. Gambali concedes the throw. Edging their way down the touchline as we move our way towards half-time.
And we do need to give credit due. I think Belconnen are moving this ball around very well today. There's an air of confidence about them.
Keeping the possession, knocking it around. So with 10 minutes to half-time, Michael, what do Gungahlin need to do to get back into this?
I think if I was Diego, I'd be talking about start playing your own game. Don't be intimidated by Belconnen. Let's look to put 4 or 5 passes together.
Looking at their bench, they've got Nassie Humphreys, who's a forward, Olivia Moore, who's a defensive midfielder, Amy Green, a utility player, and Kim Morgan, a forward as well. So they've got options. I'm sure we'll see some of them before the end of the day. Day looking for Raymond, and she couldn't quite get on the end of that pass.
The key is, and we all have this challenge when we play Belconnen, if we continue to sit back and let them have the ball, you know they're going to get chances. So when do you put pressure on that back four and stop them playing out?
If you think about it, they've scored 2 goals. They've had the effort that Raymond was pushed onto the bar. I'll come back to this thought in a moment as Murphy picks up the loose ball looking for Raymond. Gungahlin defends well. And apart from a couple of shots wide, they've not really tested Tanini, have they?
No,
Belconnen?
It's a funny side when you look at it sometimes. As I said, their quality side, they don't play with an out-and-out centre-forward. They rotate that position a little bit, and everyone plays a role.
Yeah, I think if Anthony Jagarinik would be disappointed with anything, so they haven't quite tested the keeper as much as they would have liked after going 2 up early on. In saying that, was a great save by Tanini, pushing that effort from Raymond onto the crossbar. Garrity sends that one forwards. Whittle picks up the pieces. And Raymond steers it forward. Now here's Day in a more advanced role than we've seen her, and she looked for the run of Murphy, who wasn't quite on the same wavelength.
No, I think she was trying to be too cute on that one.
Even if she had worked it was a tough run for Murphy to have to make. It's well one in the air from Sander.
Not sure she knew much about it, though.
Knocked her off her feet. Rashad.
I think you're right. If Anthony talks to the change, I think he will be a little bit disappointed. They're probably overplaying sometimes.
Stanley goes back to start.
Now there's a chance to just to keep possession, a little bit of pass and move if they can.
They've worked that reasonably well. Corbett from McCann gives it back to McCann.
Much better from Gungahlin, much better.
Percival.
And you see the difference now, Belconnen hanging back for 4 or 5 passes.
Gungahlin. Lynch. Garrity. Much better. Looking for Stanley in the channel. Rashard's come across to cover. Facing her own goal, needs to be careful. It's a ball back for Lacey. First bit of work for her. Sends that up to Day. Great clearance from Lacey. Picked out Michaela Day.
I think Diego will be delighted to see that. I think if he's emphasising anything, it'll be that sort of play.
Breaks on here if they can get Whittle in behind, and they have. Percival needs to make this challenge, and she has done. She has defended superbly. Maddie Percival.
Stand out.
Garrity is fouled by Raymond. She's been outstanding, hasn't she?
She
defensively.
has. She's strong. Brought the ball out pretty well as well from the back.
Keeping a team in the contest. Garrity. Gungahlin sends it forward, looking for Jacobson. Not going to get much change there out of Rashard, I wouldn't think. Keir. Nice turn by Lauren Keir. Beautiful turn in a tight, confined space.
Yeah, you're always disappointed when they manage to turn in that space.
Day goes back to Clark. Looking for a run. The second ball forward looks for Pike, who's advanced. Breaks in midfield. And here's Pike again into the penalty area, but across comes Gungahlin to win it. Just booting my water off the commentary platform.
I think Gungahlin will be happy with the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Day comes square. Well, here's Rashard. Runner outside, chooses to go inside instead and loses out. Now Stanley can bring it forward, and here's a chance for Lynch to find Jacobson, who can't get it under control, and Belconnen just pick up the pieces once more.
She's doing a lot of work as a centre forward, but it's not her strength. They're not playing to her strengths at the moment.
Martins, she's beaten in the tackle. It's a good one too by Corbett, and McCann helps it to Patterson. Looks back for Corbett, but again it's picked up by Clark. And the runner outside is Whittle. Pace to get past the marker if she can. Decides to come in field instead.
Oh.
and gives it away again. That's 2 or 3 options now that they've possibly picked the wrong one. Here they go forward, though. Clark's continue to run into the air, swings it towards the far post. Chance for Lauren Keir, far one goalwards, but it was always dipping away from goal.
Should be disappointed with that.
Again, it came from Gungahlin not clearing their lines.
Yeah, done all the hard work in stopping one of the attacks, then give the ball straight back again.
Credit to Karen Clark, though. She saw the opportunity, stayed up there. Got a good ball into the area, too.
I think Anna will be working on his quality of the ball. They've had lots of possession, but that final pass is not going where you would probably want it to.
Plenty of time for them to add to their tally. There's Rashart in the centre circle. Raymond. Rashart again. She's going to get plenty of passes in that position. Here's Day looking for a more offensive ball. Nothing's on for her. Defensively, Gungahlin looking much more solid than they did in the early stages.
They've shaped up very well.
It's a good ball in towards Murphy. Percival, though, wins it. Finds Lynch. Here's Day. Now Raymond snapping in was Corbett, and a free kick there.
Probably a little bit harsh, I think.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. But it is Corbett won the ball.
Gungahlin are, as I say, they're looking a little bit more compact when Belconnen have got the ball now.
Now this one is definitely within shooting range for Michaela Day. Saw her score a cracker from a similar distance, but on the other side against Olympic in an earlier game at O'Connor.
And Tuggernon's been on the same side of this.
Will she go for goal? She does, and Tonini was flapping, but she may have got a touch on it, and it's a corner. In the end, the goalkeeper's got a good hand on it.
I think Diego will be looking if we can just hold out for another 4 or 5 minutes, get them into half-time, regroup them. They're still in this game.
We need to defend this corner first. This has been a good source of goals throughout the season. That one's a bit loose on the edge of the area. It's a chance for Day perhaps to get the shot away. They snap at her feet straight away. We need to get rid of it. And it'll be Garrity that does. That's well defended by Gungahlin once more. Stanley looks to turn. Does well. Garrity's continued the run forward. And that's a good ball in field too towards Lynch. And she helps it on its way, and it's going to be picked up by Sander. And here's a chance for Gungahlin. First time we've seen him as an offensive unit. Here's Sander, swings it into the penalty area, flashes across the face of goal, and Keir needs to defend, and it's going to be, will it go out for a corner or a throw? A throw in right by the corner flag. But the first time we've seen the Gunners as an offensive unit, Michael.
Yeah, I think Diego will be happy with that. As we said, the last 10-15 minutes, they are looking more compact and more in the game. And one more goal can change anything.
Thrown into the area. Jacobson tries to get it under control. Apologise, it was Lynch. That's up front towards Whittle. And here's Day. She can get into her stride, looking for the run forward of Whittle. Raymond clips it towards the far post. Murphy's lurking with intent. It's going to fall for Gemma Murphy. She couldn't get it under control, and Patterson clears.
Excellent ball in, though.
Pike sends it straight back into the penalty area, and it almost broke for Raymond. Rolls through to Kaylee Tonini. 2 minutes left of the first half. Belconnen lead 2-0.
And well-deserved 2-0.
Day finds Clark. Raymond. Keir's hugging the touchline. Looking for a return pass to Raymond. There's Garrity again. Garrity and Percival defensively have been very, very good, as we mentioned throughout the call in the first half. I think Gambali and Patterson also.
I think after the first 10-15 minutes, Diego would be very pleased how they managed to stay in this game.
Certainly done themselves proud since they went 2-0 down. Just need to find a little more in the final third if they can. Here's Corbett defensively. Keir will get another chance to launch this one into the penalty area.
Good throw.
Cleared by Gambali this time. And Corbett clears it. They're inching their way away from goal.
A metre a minute.
Getting it away from the danger area. That one's a long way up front, and Jacobson brings it under control now. She needs some support. They're all a bit too far away from her, and it's easy for Belconnen to pick it up and recycle the ball and come back again. Jaloka, that's a bit loose, but she's won it back. Nicole Jaloka, and didn't look where she was passing it. Bit scrappy this last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Gungahlin are waiting for that whistle.
Clark, Keir. Raymond challenges with Corbett and gets away from her. Now Whittle looking to run it past Gungahlin. She's got the pace on the defender into the area. Tonini's there though, and at the second attempt clutches the ball.
The little bubble worried me.
And again she's giving it away. It's a good header from Raymond to win the ball back. It's a bit loose, the clearance though. Now it's Whittle again, looking to try and get that ball into the area. Jaloka goes back to Keir. Loose pass from Lauren Keir as well.
Now we need to hold it up.
Stanley.
That's better. Show a bit of patience and keep that ball, make Belconnen come looking for it.
Well, into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Gungahlin tries to give it away. Get it away, and she gave it only to Keir. He seems to be caught in two minds what to do with it right now. Rashart, good challenge back from Jacobson. Unfortunately for her, it falls straight to Raymond. Now Jaloka whittles the runner into the channel. Swings that one across, and the loose ball is pounced on at the edge of the area. It's Jaloka. Can she get a shot away? Day might. Oh, good block.
I think it was one of those tackles when you just want to put it in the stand.
Well, Charlotte Lynch blocked that one from Michaela Day, but that's the story of the first half, really. Michael, it's been all one-way traffic. Nat Lacey's had very little to do, and the only thing in the favour of Gungahlin at the moment, I guess, is that it's only 2-0.
It is. Belconnen started very strongly, passed the ball. They control the ball very well. Gungahlin, actually, after the first 10-12 minutes, recovered quite well and defended very stoically, and there's some standout players in their defence. Unfortunately, they still couldn't manage to keep hold of the ball and put pressure on Belconnen.
Important half-time team talk coming up from Diego Iglesias for Gungahlin United. They found themselves 2-0 down in 12 minutes here. Nicole Jaloka opening the scoring after 5 minutes, bundling it in a corner before Gemma Murphy volleyed home a second in the 12th minute. Since then, it's been all Belconnen United, the Blue Devils, dominating possession and territory. And at half-time here at McKellar Park, live on Bar TV Sports in the Women's NPL, it's Belconnen United 2, Gungahlin United 0. Welcome back to McKellar Park as the teams come out for the second half of this women's NPL capital football match between Belconnen United and Gungahlin United here. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. Joining me for the second half, as he did in the first, is Michael Aldred. A little bit warmer after your half-time, just climbing up onto the commentary platform.
For a man with short legs, that's a fairly high platform, I will add.
Getting too old because I'm struggling to get up there as well. It's stiff legs and the cool night air here in the nation's capital.
I think it's my exercise for the last 2 weeks that's been done.
All done and dusted, I'm sure that counts. Belconnen United in the first half, entirely dominant for 95% of the match, I think it's fair to say. One half chance with at the end there for Gungahlin when the ball fizzed across the face of goal. No real danger for Nat Lacey. 2-0 up, looking very comfortable. What's Diego Iglesias said at half-time to his troops?
I think Diego will have a positive message on it, the fact that it is only 2-0 and they're still back in the game, and if they look to hold the ball a little bit better, they can put a bit of pressure on Belconnen.
Well, referee Angela Gray walking to the middle of the pitch. She's assisted by Aisha Strutt and Carla Martin. They couldn't have had an easier game, I wouldn't have thought, so far for them. Not really any decisions for them to make throughout the first 45, not really. Looking at the teams for the second half, let's go with Belconnen first. Lacey in goal, Pike, Rasharp, Clark and Keir across the back four. Day, Martins and Jalocka, who were the dominant figures in that first half. Up front, Whittle, Murphy and Raymond, who had plenty of chances in that first 45. We're expecting them to get plenty more in this 45, unless Gungahlin United can come up with an answer. Their team for the second half that are looking to do that. Tanini in goal, Garrity, Gambali, Percival and Patterson across the back. McCann, Corbett and Lynch in the middle. Up front, Sander, Jacobson and Stanley. Gungahlin in the black shirts with Freya Jacobson get us underway for this second half. Corbett finds McCann. Immediately under pressure from Belconnen players, and Gambali lofts that one forward, asks Jacobson to chase it. Keeps Rashard honest early in the second period. And then touch for Nat Lacey.
Looks as though we're slipping back into the same pattern though.
Well, they're a bit higher, noticeably this time. They're not dropped off quite so deep at the moment, Michael. Maybe that's something they've said in the half, but obviously that means that their back four line is going to be higher as well, and that means the pace of Whittle and Raymond, etc., may come into play.
Yeah, it looks as though they've played, their centre half is dropping a little bit deeper as well to play a little bit further back instead of flat back four.
Rashard looking for run in front of us of Pike. Tries to take on Sander. Runs the ball out of play. So Patterson will take the throw. Goes long to Jacobson, gets it back. That looked like it was still in play from where I was, but...
Yeah, I'd share that view, unluckily.
Assistant referee on this near side disagrees with us, and she's a bit closer. Got a better view anyway.
And she's probably got younger eyes than what we knew of.
100% guaranteed that's the case. Combined age of about 160 up here.
What are you, 20?
Yeah, at least 21. Here's Pike. Clark square. Dropped off deeper again this time, so she's got lots of time, the Blue Devils central defender. That's a lovely looking ball, looking for the run of Keir on the overlap. Swings it into the area, and arriving was Raymond, but that was too close to Tanini. But what a pass again from Karen Clark.
Defence opening passes, those, aren't they? You can't defend against those.
Lauren Keir showing plenty of ambition to get forward early in the second half. Looking at the Belconnen bench, I'm sure they'll get a run for some of these players later on. We've got Jasmine Maguire, Leah Carnegie, Amy Redman, May Bailey and Sam Price. So plenty of attacking talent on the bench as well.
It's a quality bench. Those players could all be starters in most teams in this Premier League.
Might see some of them as the second half goes on. Here's Day. Martins helps it back to Clark, who brings Rashard into play. Clark
went pattern to the first half, just plenty of time on that ball to pick their passes.
That's another raking ball forward from Clark, looking for Keir on the overlap. Looking at, she's beat the defender. Can she get a ball into the penalty area? Raymond helps it around the corner, and Murphy was coming in. Chance to be reloaded. Was cleared by Gambali. It's going to come straight back again, though. Martins, I think that is, pushing that into through the cluster of players. Swung towards the near post. It's hit the crossbar.
Ooh.
I think it was that Whittle who flicked it across the goal?
Yeah.
Underside of the crossbar and out. Day has it back. Swings it to the near post, and the clearance from Gungahlin is good. And Whittle surprised everyone, I think, there with fizzing that ball across. Crashed off the underside of the bar and away. Corbett. Jalocka wins. Chance here if Murphy can help it get on side from Whittle's pass. And Garrity clears. Was that your fan club calling you there, Michael?
I think it's my kids asking what's for dinner.
Bring us something back, Dad. Throw in on the far side. So the early stages of the second half, and it looks very much like we're going to get a repetition.
Changed, I don't think,
of the first half.
Watching Diego on the sidelines, I think he's very keen that they push out a little bit more.
Keir. Ball is picked up by McCann, and Garrity finds Gungahlin. So plenty of touches in the early stages of the second half. Most of them to get rid of it as far as you can.
Yeah, there's not much options for her when she's got that ball.
She's doing all she can do with it, really, and get it as far away as she can from her goal, because the options ahead of her. Perhaps a chance to break here with Corbett. Shows too much of it, though, to Rashart. Pike under pressure from Santa. Back to Rashart again, and
they recycle it very well, don't they? There's no panic, just moves the ball.
Still think they need to get a bit more support up close to Jacobson.
Yeah.
She's far too isolated for me.
No, I'm with you. I think that's the challenge. You want to put pressure on this back four because they just get the ball and push it through. But it just leaves spaces at the back.
Redmond turns. She got away from Patterson. Ball finds its way back to Michaela Day. And she finds Clark, and there's an example exactly what we're talking about. Plenty of time to pick her pass forward. No one going anywhere near her at the moment. Rashart.
It's going to be a very long evening if you don't put pressure on her.
Clark not happy with the movement, though, ahead of her either, because the Belconnen defence, 2 banks of 4 in front of her, were defending quite well there. Blocking off the runs. That's a great ball over the top. They're looking for the run of Murphy. She brings it down. Plays it behind everybody, and Sander challenged. Did enough to put Pike off her stride. It's fallen for Day. Raymond swings towards that far post. Defensively, Gungahlin needs to be strong, but Keir's stronger. Skips away from a challenge. Blue Devils in the shadows on the far side.
Yeah, I think if Gungahlin aren't going to look to try and win that ball high, it could be a very long evening for them.
And it's been a long one for them already. There's still a lot to go in this one. Exchange of passes on the edge of the area, and this is nicely worked. Gungahlin clear. Once again, yet another throw-in. Close to the corner flag. Lauren Keir's taken a lot of these this evening.
While defending well, they just take its toll on you this time. You can't defend like this for 90 minutes. While it's a great effort, they will get opportunities.
Garrity wins the ball, sent it up towards Jacobson, who can't get it under control, so Clark will reset the move. Day looks for Raymond. Steps backwards to get away from Patterson. Now Day looks for the run of Pike, and that's overhit, and that will roll harmlessly out of play.
It's a very ambitious pass, that was.
Looking ahead to tomorrow's games, Monera Panthers versus your girls Tuggeranong United there.
It should be a good game, hopefully.
Yeah, Olympic against Canberra FC and Woden Western against the Academies. So, chance for teams to pick up some points, and both yourselves and Monera will be targeting that one.
I think we're looking to put a good game forward tomorrow.
Yeah, Ian Worthington over at Monera Panthers, and I was watching the broadcast.
I'm sure I'll say hello to him after the game.
Here's a chance for Murphy into the area. Across comes Gungahlin to win. Concedes a throw-in. He's another from the UK way, he in Worthington.
He is, yeah. I mean, for the first time today, because we played the under-13. Well, it tells me he's a Bolton Wanderers fan.
Bolton Wanderers.
I probably won't hold that against him.
Coming from Michael Aldred, who's a big Sheffield United fan.
Which, to anyone who doesn't know, is the only United in the competition.
In the which competition? There's Hartlepool. There'll be lots of people watching going, now what are they talking about? It's Belconnen United and Gungahlin United that we're looking at here today, though. They're the only two Uniteds that matter right now, I think, Michael.
Well, still, I'm not going to agree with that one. But I agree our focus should be on this game.
They will take the free kick. And find Rashard. Joloka. And Martins, that's good football. And Murphy has it on the edge of the box, looks to chip it into the area. Chance here for Raymond to head goalwards and couldn't quite climb high enough to get contact with the header.
Nice cross.
Good move as well. They've knocked the ball around well there on the edge of the penalty area. Diego Iglesias talking to a substitute down below us.
They've got to get closer to Belconnen at the moment. Belconnen's treating this as a training exercise, I think.
Well, Anthony Jagarinik sometimes gets out of his chair when the game's not going his way. He's been fairly comfortable this evening, hasn't he?
I don't think he's moved too much.
Been sat back there and leaning back, probably getting a bit cold. Sent one of his subs to warm up.
Probably got a rug and a hot water bottle.
Sent one of his subs to warm up there, so he's looking to make a change as well. Here's a chance, perhaps, for Whittle. Murphy goes back to Joloka. Now Keir. Nice little piece of skill. Looks for Whittle on the overlap. Asked a lot of the young winger. Does well to spin away.
Kept it well.
Now Keir swings into the penalty. A dangerous looking ball. Tonini comes, drops the ball. Chance here, and it's hit the post. It was swung on the turn. I think was that Murphy who got the shot away. It's going to come straight back from Keir though. Half a chance again for Pike on the far post if she can get it under control. Day strikes from distance. Well, there was venom in that shot from Michaela Day, but it was always rising over the crossbar.
You feel the next goal's coming, don't you?
It almost came there. Tonini didn't collect the cross, and Murphy was on it in a flash, but couldn't turn it into the empty net. Bounced off the left-hand goalpost. Chances, though, keep coming.
Yeah, I think Ant will be a little bit disappointed after how many chances they've missed during this game.
Keir challenges in the middle of the park. But Gungahlin come away. Here's Lynch. Looking to keep some possession. Stabbed forward on the far side.
She's very strong, isn't she, Keir? She's very strong.
Just rode the challenge of Stanley and just rolled the ball back to a keeper to set her team away again. Joloka has flitted in and out of the game since she started so well.
Yeah. Again, good movement. They're going to switch this ball quickly. It's a Belconnen trademark. Whittle.
Back to Rashard.
Problem is, she's got all the time in the world to pick a pass.
It's Rashard again. And Whittle, and they...
You don't see that too often, do you?
They did have all the time. Well, sometimes it's better not to have that much time, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to see a substitution here for Gungahlin United. Nassie Humphreys is coming on, and Freya Jacobson, who's worked incredibly hard, is going to get a rest.
Oh, she's put a good stint in, I think. Chasing those balls on her own, she's put a fantastic effort in.
Bit of a thankless job this evening for Freya Jacobson, chasing the back four. As I mentioned throughout the call, very isolated for me. Nassie Humphreys, though, will offer something a little bit different. Maybe a tad more pace in the final third.
Be interesting if Gungahlin change the way they play. They try to play into feet, but now maybe they can look for more of those balls over the top.
Jacobson's getting some treatment to an injury as well, so maybe she's just pulled something in a calf there. It's a cold day and a cold evening, and she put a lot of effort into that.
It's a freezing evening.
Here's Clark. Clips that ball forward, looking for Pike, who's made the run. Sanders back with her, and Pike will chase with the youngster. Sander eases her out, defends well.
She defended very well then.
And we're going to see a change for Belconnen United. Sam Price about to join the action. In fact, well, she'll have to wait as Gungahlin get on with the throw quickly. Though Belconnen didn't turn the ball over. Clark finds Rashard.
The way Belconnen keep the ball, she could be waiting a while now.
Jaloka. Pressure by McCann. Whittle. Keir. And sweeps the ball into the path of Clark. Lots of space for the centre-back to move into. Raymond. Goes backwards again.
That's the challenge. There's no pressure on the back four to...
Rashard looks to slide it through. But defensively, that's good. Now here's Humphries. And she wins herself a free kick. In the centre circle, here's the substitution.
And this is a chance for Gungahlin to regroup and hopefully put a bit of pressure on that back four.
So it's Alex Martins who's coming off. She's looked pretty lively today.
She has. She moved the ball well, created plenty of space.
Not always guaranteed a place in this Belconnen starting lineup, Alex Martins, but she's done well this evening.
They've got a strong squad. They can rotate players and give players game time, and yeah, it's a strong squad.
Sam Price, been around for a long time. Here's Patterson. Sander tried to help it on its way, and it's been turned over. Here's a chance for Pike. Murphy's come towards her, and if she peels away, there's a chance perhaps. And look at that defending from Percival again. Absolutely brilliant from Madeline Percival.
Strong, fast.
And then works her way out to Sander.
This is the next key for Gungahlin. It's this pass here where they usually
Here's Lynch. Oh, she almost slid it through for Humphries. There was a big gap to the left if she could have put it through there. And that was half a chance for them on the break.
That'd have made the scoreline very interesting, wouldn't it?
Well, as you said, in the first half, at 2-0, they're still in this one if they can pull one back.
2-1's suddenly a whole new ball game.
And although they haven't really tested Nat Lacey, you wouldn't put it past them. If they could find something from somewhere.
Again, Nat Lacey's had nothing to do tonight, so her levels of concentration would be have to be fairly high.
Lynch. Garrity. Stanley. Here's Humphries. Failed to get hold of it.
Yeah, would have been disappointed with that if she could have got a body and held that up. There was options then to bring other players into play.
We've looked a bit brighter in this second half, though.
Yeah, but I think to most sides, if you swing 3 or 4 passes together, you're suddenly looking a lot better side.
Well, Raymond's left that short, and here goes Patterson, and Raymond recovers from her own mistake.
That was unlucky from Patterson.
Day has it for Belconnen. Pike. Nothing forward, and that's good.
Well done.
Defensive work again from Patterson. I think after 12 minutes when they were 2-0 down, we were thinking this could be a lot.
Yes.
But defensively since then, fair play to this back four of Ash Garrity, Ruby Gungahlin, Maddie Percival and Alex Patterson. They've stood fairly firm.
They have, and I think it can be very despondent when you're suddenly 2-0 down after 12 minutes. They've shown a fantastic attitude to keep battling in the game.
Well, for Gungahlin fans' sake, let's hope that they can do so for the remainder of this match. Just under half an hour to go, live on Bar TV Sports. Belconnen leading Gungahlin 2-0. There's Patterson again, winning it in front of Raymond. Good, strong challenge. Looking for a run ahead of her. Humphries was on her heels.
A little bit miscommunication, then one wants it to feet and ball went over the top. But as you say, a little bit more enterprise than we've seen before.
They're snapping into challenges that weren't there in the first half. Raymond. Day. Jaloka. Whittle.
No, I think whatever the score, Diego will be happy with the attitude of his players today.
Keir. Now Murphy into the area. Defensively, Garrity is back there. She'll see it out.
They've not given up. They've worked hard.
Been impressed by them since they were 2-0 down.
We were in the same situation, actually. 2 weeks ago, we lost 3-0 to Belconnen, 1-0 at half-time. They scored just after the second half, and they're the times you've got to dig in.
Sander tried to bring that down from Tanini. Couldn't quite do so. Pike finds Murphy and gets it back. Under pressure from Sander.
Oh, Bronte did well then.
There's a chance perhaps for Gungahlin, but Pike wins it back again from Corbett. Raymond finds Price. Patterson defensively well positioned. Sander skips away from Pike, gets a free kick. Just a reminder for those of you interested in Men's National Premier League tomorrow, live coverage on Bar TV Sports from 3 o'clock. Canberra FC versus Tigers FC. Should be a big match over at Deakin Stadium. Canberra FC looking to go top of the table. The only unbeaten side left in the competition in the men's.
I think the Tigers had a good win last week though, didn't we?
Certainly did. They won the Masita Mares Cup, I believe they call it. I'm not sure what that is, but they beat Monero Panthers 3-0. Sure, I'll find out tomorrow. Sander. Pike got the foot in.
They are looking to put a bit more of a foothold on the game, Gungahlin now, while without putting any undue pressure on Belconnen.
Patterson with a long throw. It's coming straight back to the defender. He's grown in stature throughout this one. Lynch. Back to Percival. Clips it forward. Clark
Not
gathers
sure about that from Bronte there, that little leg up there.
It's a bit of a lazy leg, wasn't it?
I think so.
Here's Rashard.
Good space, plenty of space there.
Just advances 20 or 30 metres, no one near her, finds Keir, who gives it back. Gungahlin drop everybody back behind the ball. Whittle comes deep to collect. Raymond. Price. Looked for Murphy, but Percival was the only one alert to that ball. She's rather sliced the clearance there, and it will be a corner.
Won't be surprised if Fant starts looking at his bench again soon. Maybe bring Jez Maguire on. Bit of pace, bit of fresh legs.
Yeah, maybe Maguire and Carnegie might both get a run shortly. There's not much movement down there, though, at the moment. Garland defending this corner at the clubhouse end, I guess you'd call it. Tries to swing it back in. It's going to drop for Price on the edge of the area. Or the car park end, if you want. Price. Clark.
Defended well there, Gungahlin. Got the numbers behind the ball.
Sander. McCann. Now Patterson. They are keeping the ball better in this half than they have done.
Looks like there's a little bit of confidence coming into the game.
Gungahlin. Gives that one away there. And here's a chance. If Murphy can help it on its way, and defensively that's good again by Ruby Gungahlin. Sander. Lynch.
Oh, nice.
Sander again. Now then, can she put the afterburners on? Pike's back with her. Infields to Lynch. Doesn't seem fair, the challenge, does it? Because Sander's got every 2 strides and Pike's just 1, I think, and the size difference.
Bronte did very well to close her down then. She showed good tenacious attitude.
Well, we're going to see Jasmine Maguire. That's why you coach in the Premier League, Michael. And it's Maddie Whittle, I think, who's going to come off.
Maddie's had a strong game. I think Jazzy will offer obviously a fresh pair of legs and a new way of playing. But
a lot of effort from Whittle. Yeah, a lot of effort and running up and down. Not quite as lethal as she usually is in front of goal. Not presented with a huge amount of chances, to be fair.
No, I think
close to getting on the end of a couple of crosses.
You'd probably still say Belconnen overall is probably 80% of the game and not created that much for that amount of possession.
But we are midway through the second half and Gungahlin is still in it. They're only 2-0 down. It's Gungahlin and they seem to be growing into the match. Raymond there.
Certainly making Belconnen work a little bit harder for the ball.
Jaloka. Bit more pressure on them when they have possession in midfield. Maguire, first touch. Price to Jaloka. This is better. Raymond. Day's made the run outside, but she's gone infield instead. And Garrity clears to the Gungahlin bench. A couple of times they've had big overlaps, so they've not utilised. Day. Jaloka.
They do move it well with pace across side to side.
Rashard brings it forward. Keir's the only option ahead of her. And she's found her.
Good tackle.
Great tackle again, defensively once more.
Again,
that was Stanley.
Apart from the first 12 minutes, they have defended pretty well tonight, Gungahlin.
I think that will be disappointing. That's what will disappoint Diego Iglesias, was the fact that both goals were preventable.
Yeah.
And since then, as you said, they defended well and not coughed up too many chances, clear-cut ones anyway. Here's Keir. Price. Keir again. Maguire. Loses possession. Now here's Humphreys.
Hold it up.
On her own, so she's got a lot to do. Still going, and Keir's back with her, but she's still battling away. Support was slow to get to her, to be fair. But Nassi Humphreys.
Oh, and still got the touch. A couple of dribbles there.
We're going to see a second change. Talia Stanley's going to depart.
Again, another player who's put a good shift in down that left-hand side.
She's going to be replaced by Olivia Moore. Olivia Moore's been carrying a few injuries over the last couple of years. It wasn't that long back that she was named player of the final when Monero played Belconnen at Hawker, and she marked Michelle Heyman out of the game until the final 2 minutes of extra time.
It's good to see her back playing then.
A lot of talent. She's back playing. I think Angelo Marilitz gave her chance at Monero. Spoke very highly of her. He's up in Sydney now.
I believe,
yeah, Northbridge maybe.
Yep.
One of those teams up there. Good up-and-coming coach. His Price.
As you say, Monaro have got a new coach at the moment, Ian.
Yeah, Ian Worthington. We spoke briefly about him before.
Hopefully, I'm hoping he has a disaster tomorrow, but apart from that,
Sure
wish him all the best.
They come across from the UK. Hoping to continue, they call it the Monero Revolution over there. They've got a lot of things going on with that club, in both men's and women's. A bit like what's happening at Tegron, putting all their faith in the younger players.
Well, I think that the stronger we can get the competition from both men and women, the better it is for Canberra and for more opportunities for players.
And whilst Belconnen United are racking up the points and the trophies, Michael, it is setting a standard that other teams need to aspire to as well, and being a benchmark.
I think so, and, you know, to be fair, anyone who plays Belconnen, you raise your game against Belconnen, so they have to keep raising their own game.
And of course, they lost the grand final last year. Canberra FC beat them on penalties at this very venue. An amazing match in which Grace Gill equalised with virtually the last kick of normal time, and then Chantal Jones, the former Canberra United goalkeeper, pulled out a couple of excellent saves in the penalty shootout.
And I'll remind again, just because you brought it up, not me, Ross, that they only lost one game all last season. Happened to be against Tuggeranong, but yeah.
That's right.
I mentioned it because you did.
I did mention it earlier, I think at the start of the broadcast. Big win. Big win. That was a very big win. Surprise to a lot of people. It was the first game that Belconnen lost for a number of years, in fact, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
They showed just what a good team they are. They bounced back and won the top of the table, but then, of course, lost in the grand final. So they'll be determined to get that trophy back. That was almost on permanent display here at McKellar Park.
And joking aside, they're a quality club with quality players, and they are setting the standards, and we've got to try and meet those standards.
And what Antti Jagarin has done well is bring through the youngsters. They've come through the ranks, and it gives them opportunities. Pike's looking to keep this one in. She'll do well to do so, though. Stretches the legs and can't quite do so. I've seen a lot of these young players that they've brought through.
Yep, and they provide competition. It's challenging. If you're playing for Belconnen, you know you have to compete and play every single week. Otherwise, you won't be in the team.
Coming out to half an hour of the second half gone. Still 2-0. Belconnen looking for what would be a killer third. Gungahlin still harbour hope that they can get back into this, as unlikely as it may seem at the moment. Keir finds Price. Raymond's loose touch, but Price is there. Rashard. Humphreys goes across. And pressure on Keir, who turns again. She did that in the first half and got away. Trying to skip away from the marker who was Moore. Price is in there. A break perhaps for Gungahlin. Opportunity to bring it away.
Keep the ball.
Lynch looking for an option. Goes back to Percival. Up towards Humphreys, but Clark gets there ahead of her. Patterson gets it back for Gunners. And they win it back again through Jalocka. Just a bit loose in their transition.
It is. I think it's becoming hard. They've worked very hard all game. But the last 15, 20 minutes of this can take its toll on you.
Keir. Clark. Day. Now Raymond. Good challenge.
Well done by Rachel.
And Corbett in the middle of the park. And she finds Lynch. Helps it forward to Sander.
That's better from Gungahlin. Better.
Lynch again. 2 Blue Devil shirts straight around her there, and Patterson wins her team of throwing. What they don't deserve, Gungahlin, is for this to blow out, do they?
No.
They've defended well enough since going 2-0 down to deserve to be in the contest, and it has been a contest. Patterson. Nicole Jalocka got in front. Patterson will take the throw again.
Nice throw.
Yeah, decent long throw on her, but it's going to go all the way out of play unless Sander can pressurise Pike into a mistake, which he can't.
And this is a challenge now. You see the goal kick here. How can Gungahlin stop this simple pass out, which they've done again?
Well, they weren't awake to it, and Raymond's got space to turn. Now, will she elect to go forward? She doesn't. She goes back to Day. Rashart square. I think I've said that hundreds of times today.
And that's the difference. 3 or 4 passes that suddenly open up.
Looking for the run of Maguire. Didn't quite find her.
Teams have got to try and challenge high up on the field to Gungahlin and stop them playing out. Easier said than done, of course.
They haven't found a way to stop them today. I guess it'll be up to the team that plays them next to try and find a way through.
I believe that's Tuggeranong United.
I think it is next week at Canberra. Not just a co-commentary position for you, but a bit of a scouting opportunity as well.
Yes. As I say, they're a quality side, Belconnen, and we'll do our best to put some pressure on them next week. Keep them honest.
Tanini chips it out, headed straight back. Out of play for a throw-in. 15 minutes to go in this NPL women's competition. Belconnen with the goals in the first half from Nicole Jalocka after 5 minutes and Gemma Murphy after 12. A 2-0 to the good.
As neutral commentators, it would be nice to see Gungahlin put one in, wouldn't it? Turn it into the game for the last 10-15 minutes.
Absolutely. If they could pull one back and give us a contest in those last 10-15 minutes, we'll definitely see what Belconnen are made of then. Here's Lynch looking to find some space. Garrity has been a willing runner up and down that flank.
As you alluded to at the start of the commentary, it's an interesting division this year that there is 4 or 5 teams under Belconnen jostling for positions. It will be interesting to see which team rises to that challenge against Belconnen.
And when it comes to finals football, Canberra United Academy, they're eligible this year for finals football.
So, yep.
Canberra FC as well, Canberra Olympic.
Yep.
They'll all look at it and go, well, on a one-off occasion, they think they could take this team if they can.
Yes.
And even the other sides in the competition as well.
And it's a long season.
The beauty of the fourth div, the beauty, and it's a fair amount of fixtures this year, isn't there?
Yeah, we play each team 3 times, so 21 games.
So plenty of time to rack up some points.
Yeah, and I think when you look over a season, the best team wins. I'm an old-fashioned person where league champions are the best team, and Belconnen are strong candidates for that with the start they made. But in a one-off game, it's 11v11.
Percival chips it into the night sky. And Pike heads it out of play. Anthony Jagaringa's got all 3 of his remaining subs warming up. Patterson takes a throw. Here's Humphreys. And you can make 5 subs in WPL.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm sure they may all get a run. Here's Jalocka, nice drop of the shoulder, and she looks to get away from Percival, and she's away here. Nicole Jalocka into the penalty area. Instead of shooting, she lays it off, and the shot in the end came in from Price. Yeah. And she opened up for her there. She thought she might try her luck.
A little bit of a overplaying, I think, then. She got the open, she said open and body up ready for a shot, but look for the pass inside.
Well, Amy Redmond's about to join the fray. And it's for Bronte Pike.
Good strong game as usual from Bronte. Did well today.
Will precipitate a bit of a reshuffle though, Michael, in terms of formation. Michaela Day's dropped into the left-hand side of defence, and Redmond's gone into the middle of the park. Here is Day.
The advantages at the moment, I'm not sure she's going to have to put a strong defensive stint in.
Well, here's Humphreys looking to change that. Spins and turns, she's got a runner ahead of her. And she just overhit it as Moore made the run. And she got away from Keir for a moment. She's going to keep it in though, Olivia Moore. Chance to swing it into the air, and it bounces off Keir and causes Lacey one or two palpitations as it bounced in the air. And
I think we might even get a corner from that, maybe.
Looks like we're going to. We are going to go get a corner. It may have just bounced out of play, and Lauren Keir wore that one in the face.
Fantastic turn in the middle of the park, and that ball had just been a little bit more precise. It would have been interesting one-on-one against the keeper.
Well, she was away from Keir, wasn't she? And I don't think Keir was catching her. Anyway, set-piece chance for Gungahlin. They've not thrown too many bodies in there at the moment. Reluctant to get caught on the break. Percival is an obvious target.
Yeah.
She's jogged towards the edge of the area.
I think they're just hoping for a quality.
Patterson's in there too. It's a decent one to the near post. Patterson tried to get there, but it was defended well. And there's a foot race, which Maguire wins. Well, she looks for the run of Murphy. Defensively, Gungahlin are there, but here's a chance for Maguire. Across goes Gambale. Gives it away. Murphy has it. Maguire looks to find Raymond and does. Nice turn for Raymond. Price is ahead of her. Promising move this for Belconnen. Maguire shoots from distance and it bounces straight in the hands of Tanini. Ambitious effort from Jasmine Maguire. Humphreys.
But to be
nice
fair,
touch that from Nassie Humphreys. And
it's one of the few shots.
She found Sander, who gets it back and looks for the return pass, but Humphreys hadn't continued the run. Yeah, one of the few shots on target.
It is in the second half. I say Gungahlin's defended pretty well this half. Kept him from distance.
Here's Corbett looking for Humphreys, and it just rolls away from the striker. But far more positive signs.
Yeah, I think Diego will be very happy how they're starting to put their imprint a little bit on Belconnen at this moment.
Clark. Raymond's under pressure from Patterson, who alongside Percival is probably shout for player of the match.
Yeah, wouldn't disagree with you there, I think.
Both defended very well. And it's not just that they've defended well against one particular player, have they? They've been asked numerous problems because of the different types of forwards that Belconnen rotate around.
A lot of movement, and they've kept very solid, stayed in positions. They haven't been pulled out wide, they've stayed where they were.
It's a good flick on that in the middle of the field by Corbett. Unfortunately, falls directly for Clark. Day loses out to Sander. Now here's Humphreys.
You don't see that too often.
Pretty used to having the options to go both ways. Obviously playing at fullback here, temmed into the touchline. Here's Keir. Just for a second looked a bit unsure.
And if you look at the pitch now, you can see Gungahlin actually starting to push a little bit higher. There's a little bit of confidence coming in that they feel as though they might get something.
Have they left it a little too late there? There's only 8 minutes to go. Lacey chips it forward, gives it away. It'll be a throw into Gungahlin. Can they pull one back and give themselves a toe hold? More. Now Lynch.
Oh, she's done well there.
Looks to play it into the area, bounces over the head of Humphreys. Sander might pick this up on the far post and wins her team another corner. Gungahlin, yeah, Gungahlin building a bit of pressure. And it's forcing Belconnen maybe into another change.
I think Diego will be very happy how they're starting to push on now.
Well, Humphries has come across to take the corner. Can she pick out a black and white striped shirt? Nice. It's a good corner as well. In comes a chance on the far post and the header. It was Corbett, I think. Didn't quite get enough on it. Didn't believe in herself, I don't think.
No.
She looked like she was going to get a run onto it. That's a good knock from
It would have been
Raymond.
interesting, though.
Well, she was steaming in on it and looks for certain to win the header. Good corner, though. Here's Patterson. Nice. Well, knocks it past... knocked it past Day there, and I'm not sure Lynch would have had the legs to get away from Day, but could have played the advantage, Angela Gray, but calls it back for the free kick, which is the right decision.
Another opportunity from a set piece to put some pressure on the back four.
And Patterson will take it, looking to pick a Gungahlin head. 4 black and white shirts on that far post area for where she's aiming, and it's a good one towards in there. It bounces in the area, chance perhaps, but Keir's come across and defended it well. Plays it off as Sander. Just for a moment, there's some uncertainty in the Blue Devils' defence.
Now the key is, if you were Diego, you'd be wanting to turn around very quickly and keep them there. But again, outlets there.
Yeah, they saw it, but they saw it just a little too late.
Yeah, you see the difference, these 4 Gungahlin players in that top half now.
Rashart looks for Keir. They're rolling the dice, looking for a way back into it. Price finds Clark. We're going to get 2 further Blue Devil substitutions in a moment. May Bailey and Leah Carnegie are about to join us. It may well happen now, which it will. Carnegie coming on for Murphy.
Gemma's had a good game, a little bit quiet in the second half, but a couple of opportunities in the first half.
Took a goal well, the second of the day. And Leah Carnegie will slot onto the right-hand side of the front 3, and that'll put Jazz Maguire into the centre-forward position, where I think she'd rather be. Nicely done by Clark. Raymond. Here is Maguire.
Nice, did well. Held that ball up well.
Jaloka looking for an involvement for Carnegie, but the Gunners were there. Lynch, rather wild hack at that one in the middle of the field. Jaloka.
Gungahlin certainly are pushing on a little bit more now.
Carnegie's ball into the channel, and Gambale comes across and defends. There's a chance perhaps for Jaloka to load it into the box, but there's no one there. 4 across, there it goes, and there's no Blue Devil shirts that has made that run.
Chance to bring it forward quickly.
Patterson, bit of a tired one from Patterson. She's had another chance. Price wins it from Lynch. Looking for the run of Maguire.
Lynch got a call then. I think she'd have enjoyed a call from her teammates.
It's been a bit quiet, hasn't it? Here's Corbett. That's a bit better. Percival looks for the run of Sander. Clark, though, was on her bike way before that ball was played. The perception and game management there to realise where the ball was going from Clark. She gets it back of Day. 4 minutes to go. Rashart, Jaloka. Rashart.
I think both sides will be pleased with their workout today from various aspects. Diego will be pleased that his side have shown a good attitude and work rate.
Maguire. Oh, that's a bit dangerous, and Clark was under pressure from Humphries, and Jaloka needs to tidy up. Maguire's pass was asking a lot there. Here's Jaloka, nice turn in the middle of the park. Maguire looks for the ball around the corner, touched on towards Jaloka by Raymond.
Oh, well defended again.
Percival again.
She's had a storming game, hasn't she?
Defensively outstanding. May Bailey is going to be the 4th, or the 5th rather, the 5th and final substitute. Coming on. A rest for Jessie Rashart, who's strode imperiously throughout the game again.
Yeah, she looked good on the ball, doesn't she?
Belconnen looking to add to their 2 goals. There's another foul throw.
That's a coach killer foul throws. You don't want them, do you?
We've seen 2 today. one from either side. As we enter the final 2 minutes of the match, plus whatever stoppage time we've got left. And
I don't think there'll be too much of that, do you?
Shouldn't imagine there'll be too much. We have had 7 substitutions there. If you add on 30 seconds for each one of those, could be here all night. Belconnen.
It's an interesting concept. I coached the under-15 Premier League girls today. Winning 3-2 with 5 minutes to go. I think I made 10 substitutions in the last 3 minutes.
Of course. It's all about winding the clock down.
And to give girl game time.
Of course, that's more so at that age group. Here's a corner for Belconnen. Chance for them, perhaps, with a minute or so remaining to add to the 2 goals they scored early on.
I look across and do you think Lacey's tempted to get up there as a centre forward?
Well, she's all the way. She's almost on the halfway line, keeping her feet warm. She's bouncing up and down her toes as we concentrate at the other end. Swung in towards where Tonini is, and defensively, that's a good clearance at the front post.
Quality cross again.
I think it may have been Gungahlin. In fact, it was the header on the near post, and it was an important one. Maguire's jogging across to take the corner again. If she can drop one in the same area.
Could look for a short one.
Yeah, I think they're looking to drop this straight back where that one was. It's another cracking corner in, and the header this time is wide of goal.
It's quality crossing, isn't it, really?
It was Clark, I think, who won it.
Struggles to deal with the ball, that quality. You as an ex-centre forward be dying, when I say ex, as a centre forward, you'd be dying for a cross like that.
Very much ex-centre forward these days, mate. I'm more and more at home, stood in the commentary box. But yeah, you love balls like that into the penalty area. That's up towards Humphreys, and she can't get hold of it. And Keir will. Last 10 seconds, and then we're into stoppage time. Is there another goal? Maguire. Probably be a bit harsh on Gungahlin if they conceded a third now. Switch to this near side to Patterson. Looks to stretch the legs and finds Sander. And Day's there, clips it away.
She's been there all night, hasn't she?
She has, and she found Redmond, who brings Price into play. She's been, their back four, all of them have been solid on the ball, comfortable in possession. Makes a big difference. Clark to Raymond, back to Clark. Now Day's made a run forward. She's made a habit of scoring in stoppage time this season. Not on this occasion, though, because
much, I think, that one.
The 91st minute.
She might need a bike for that one.
Percival is back. She'll clip it forward.
That was a tired pass out, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she's got a right to be tired as Maddie Percival. She's put it all on the line today.
She has a very strong game. She's done really well.
We don't pick an official player of the match, but if you were going to, Michael, who would your call be today?
I'd probably say it's Maddie Percival, to be honest. She's held the team well, she's led well, she's continued to the 90th minute. I think without her in the defence, the score could have been a little bit different.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, Maddie Percival, our player of the match, is Lynch.
I think you've got to applaud all the Gungahlin team, as I say, when you're playing against a team with the quality of Belconnen and the amount of possession they've got, they defended very well.
They're going to come away empty-handed, though, unless we have a Barcelona 1999 style 2 goals in 30 seconds.
You still remember that, don't you?
It's the only thing I've got to live on these days, being a Manchester United fan. It's not been good picking since then. McCann. Nicely done by Gungahlin. Under pressure, though, from Maguire, who will be off at the races here. And
that's
across,
an interesting race.
Yeah, it will be a race, because across goes Percival as well. And as she's done for most of the day, she's won the ball once more.
She reads the game very well, doesn't she?
She did, and she needed to. Gungahlin sends it up the field. Moore couldn't get hold of it. Let's get a throw, though. Belconnen forced to go back. Keir.
Give the goalkeeper a bit of a touch before the end.
Lacey. Clark brings it forward. Lynch goes to close her down. Raymond. Redmond. Neat and tidy in possession, as all the Belconnen players are. Here's Keir.
Strong run forward.
Looking for the run outside, and she's found it. Opportunity perhaps at the death, but the cross is easily cut out, and referee Angela Gray brings an end to proceedings. And Michael, at the end of the day, those 2 early goals, I won't say killed the game as a contest, but made it very, very difficult for Gungahlin, and they could find no way back.
No, and I think Diego will look on the team and say missed opportunity at the start, but would have been pleased with his attitude of his team and the concentration throughout the rest of the game.
And credit to them, and credit to what they did after that, because after going 2-0 down against a team as good as this, who score this many goals as Belconnen do, to hold them out for another 78 minutes and not concede again, will give them a lot of positives.
Oh, definitely. As I say, they worked hard as a unit, and the last thing you want to do is walk away from a result which has sort of got away from you. And they hung on in the last 10 minutes when fatigue would have played a part, but they kept their shape very well.
Thanks to your company on this freezing cold evening. Let you go home and thaw out ahead of your game tomorrow against Monero Panthers, and good luck for that one. I hope to talk to you later in the season. We'll have you on again when we can for another match here on Bar TV Sports. Well, as I said, we'll be back tomorrow from Deakin Stadium at 3 o'clock. Canberra FC versus Tigers FC. But here at McKellar Park, 2 early goals, one in the 5th minute from Nicole Jalocka and one in the 12th minute from Gemma Murphy, have given the Belconnen Blue Devils the 3 points. Gungahlin defended resolutely after that, but were unable to find a way back into the match, and it finished Belconnen United 2, Gungahlin United 0.